Hello, welcome and good to see you again, if indeed you are still with us for more Snake and Crane chats. If you watch part 4, then we appreciate it. Thanks very much. In this next episode, part 5, we cover the following. The music of Snake and Crane with detailed information about each track used in the film. And the amazing opening credits kung fu demonstration by Jackie Chan. Have a good time. So let's move on to the music. Stanley Joel Footlong, he's done a hell of a lot of films. I'll just run through some of the films that he's done music for. Secret Rivals 1 and 2, Killer Meteors, Chan, Shaolin, Wooden Chan, Eight Masters, Hot the Cool and the Vicious, Return of the Tiger, Seven Grandmasters, Invincible Armor, Snuff Bottle Connection, good John Liu films then, Shaolin Ironclads, Snake and Eagle, Shadow, another Chan, Dynamo, my favourite Bruce Lee film, Drunken Master, Superpower, Billy Chong. This guy, there's loads more, but I've just picked out some of the what I consider the best and well-known films, which he has had a hand in the music.
Yeah.
All right. So, however, it was a bit weird back then, you know, because they didn't always have a composer to they didn't have the money to have a bloke who's going to sit in a studio and compose the music. So they borrowed a lot of music. Let's discuss the main music in Snake and Crane. The music in the opening, when he's using the sword and tonfa, so the part, I'll call it part 2 of the opening, right, on the red background.
Yeah.
The first part where he's on his own with a spear, sword and tonfa against 2 guys, that part. As you know, there's no music on the first part. Part 2, there's a song. That song, for your information, is called Ice Flow by a guy called Pierre, I think it's pronounced, and it's from the Dwarf Music Library. Now, if you don't know what the Dwarf Music Library is, I don't know that much about it, but it's a library where artists or creators can pay for and, if you like, borrow music that this crew of composers make. They make different types of music, whether it be for a scary film or an exciting scene, and then you use it, and that's why you will hear a lot of these songs in more than one film.
So like basically like imagery, stock music. They just go to a central resource base and they're allowed to use it.
Good example. Now I'm going to play a clip. So it tells you there, Ice Flow. That's the name of the song. It's from the Dwarf Music Library. It's also used in Modern Crime from the Holy Grail and Call of the Dead. So that's what I'm saying. Now, strangely enough, right, I'll turn it down and we'll leave it running. Now, I don't know about you. I think this music is brilliant. How the hell the guy picked this to suit Jackie Chan doing sword and tonfa against 2 spearmen? I don't know, but it works, right?
Perfect.
It's good music, isn't it? It's dramatic or whatever.
It's allowing space for the movements as well, and the sound effects. Beautiful.
It's like crazy nutcase music. Bam, 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 bam. But, you know, there's crazy stuff happening. I always loved it. Always loved this music. Obviously, never knew where it was from, and etc. etc. But yeah, strange that it works, but it does.
Yeah.
Now I'll turn it up for a bit so we can just have a bit of the music and all. All right. I'll call that main music piece 1. Used in a couple of other films, and honestly, fantastic bit of music, isn't it?
It works for me. Works for the film. Beautiful.
And this is where I can say, okay, so Stanley didn't compose that, but I'm guessing he's the guy who went, what should we do? I'll have no music on that. Okay, I want a bit of music, or someone said I need a bit of. Maybe he decides, or maybe someone says I don't want any music on the first part, but on the second part, when I do, so I'll have some music. Find me a piece. And to me, I don't know why that's a perfect piece, but It resonates with me. I remember the music clear as day from when I was a kid. Always loved it and still love it now. To me, it's brilliant.
I love it. Can I just pause for 2 seconds?
You can.
Thank you.
This is the music at the beginning of the film where they introduce the 8 masters, and it's also used in the bit where Chan goes to secretly see. I don't know. No, do I want to give it away? Don't matter. He secretly goes to see one of the masters at one point. It's also used there. So I'll play a clip of it, but it's called Roots Mural Theme by Gerald Fried and performed by the Quincy Jones Orchestra. And it's from a 1977 miniseries called Roots. And I'll play a clip for us. Good, isn't it? So I'll turn it down a bit. I mean, did you always like this music? I mean, I loved it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yes.
I chose this clip because you get to hear a lot more of it. There you go.
You would think it was orchestrated specifically. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, no, I love that. I love that music. And, you know, I look for any excuse to put that. If I'm like, you know, just getting a takeaway or something, because I like, when we eat, I like to do like themes. And obviously, you know, I love Chinese food, so an Asian food, but I always like to have whatever food I'm eating, I have that music in the background, and sort of with that sort of Kung Chinese Asian music playing in the background. I love it. Any excuse to put it on.
Good thing is, right? I mean, weird, right? It actually isn't even Chinese Asian music. It's Quincy Jones, right? And using an American TV series. But to me and you, and to people who watch these films, it ain't that. To me and you, it's Snake and Crane music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The good thing is, once you learn about these tracks, you can then get hold of them. Exactly. Because you think, I've got to go and try and buy a Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin soundtrack. Where? Like, you don't need to. Yeah. So the final bit of music, it's not the final bit of music, but that's a different reason. It's in the first. It's just before the first fight. You know, before the bit where you get the 3 blokes and he has a fight with them where he's fishing.
Yes.
There's a piece of music just before that fight that leads into that fight after the 8 Masters intro.
Yeah.
And it's called The Tanker by Marvin Hamlisch. And it's from the James Bond film, The Spy Who Loved Me.
See, I would never know
it. Right, hang on. Let me grab it. Great, right? Brilliant. So, don't know which one you think is the best. I don't know. I like that one and the one before. But great music in this film, regardless of where it's from. Fantastic.
It is. Like I said, that, you know, I'm completely astonished that they've come from. Maybe like copyright things were a lot looser back then, because now, you know, if someone did it for that film, another film wouldn't be able to touch it with a barge pole, not even a little audio snippet. But yeah, that is just, you know, the way it's directed, the film, the way the camera's coming in through the sort of like the mountain with the ice. He's fishing, they're coming in. You got that music. It's just, it's just all it's in tune. You know, it's interconnected. It works.
It works. Yeah, I can't imagine it in a Bond film. No. Not to me. To me, I couldn't imagine that in a James Bond film.
But, you know, thinking back now, those audio snippets there, if that in a James Bond film, that might have been muted quite down and it wasn't that prominent, you know. There'll be
Maybe,
sort of bigger orchestrated parts for that action scene, whereas they've taken those snippets that might have been less known in the Bond film and sort of, you know, amplified it. So it's got more impact with the visuals because, as we said, it clearly works with this Chan film, you know.
Doesn't it just? Yeah. So, okay, I want to discuss the opening. I think the opening's so good.
With a red background.
It deserves a discussion. So what I'm going to do is I'll play a clip of it, and whilst it's on, we'll have a chat about it. I'll smash the volume down, and we'll have a chat about it so that people know what we're talking about. This is the opening to Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin. It's the thing you see straight away as soon as you put the film on.
Yeah.
And this is I'm going to call this a showcase of skill.
Yeah,
that's exactly what this is to me. It's a pure showcase of skill. And even though these low-weight films, they weren't successful at the time, it's no wonder that other people or other filmmakers, so Quincy and Yuen Ping, started to notice Chan, right? Because look at this, right? This is what he was doing, and he choreographed this film as well, along with a guy called the Wai War. But you could also go, well, look at the skill he's doing, and he choreographed it as well. It's no wonder when they were looking for someone that they had things like this to look for. Well, he's certainly got the skill.
And that's why they got the word association there as well. You know, the way they cleverly done it, like with low way. You know, Chan's obviously doing all these moves, and he's finishing, and then it goes low way. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like the spear's pointing at it.
Yeah.
The audience are looking at Chan with the skill, and then he goes low way. So he's associated with Chan, you know, at his best, doing all this stuff.
Yeah, it's just fantastic. I mean, I don't know how many times we must have watched this scene.
The opening sequence alone, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's this opening sequence, part 1, part 2, whatever we want to call them, you know, one with this and then the second part with the sword and tonfa. It's like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Opening credits. It's 5. Look at that. Look, 5 minutes opening credits. Mate,
that's the content of the whole film, just in the opening.
Right, exactly. Just check that out, right? The timing, the balance of this.
Oh, he just landed. He didn't even move. Straight into another move.
Right? And normally you'd go, oh, cut.
But it's not. It's a continuum. Yeah, continuation. It's done in a one-er. Yes, look at that.
Look at all these stances and everything. This is the best, man. Now, who wouldn't get excited? Say you watch it. I got excited when I was watching it on vid, right? Say you're watching this at the cinema. I go, I don't know what this film is. I'll try this one out. And it opens up with this.
Just bang. Straight in.
Yeah, look. Yeah, let's bang the volume.
It's back, barely touched the floor there.
Good finish.
But that roll, his back, he just watched him. He was like, he just glided. His back barely made contact with the floor there. And then he rolled straight into that thing.
It was so tight, wasn't it? Yeah. I won't play the part 2, even though that's got some amazing bits in it. The bit with the sword and something, because we saw a bit when we played the music.
Yeah.
But I'll have a quick chat about Kung Fu Red backgrounds because they're amazing, and I don't know why they exist, why they did it, but if you remember, and I'm sure you do, Snake and Eagle Shadow also has a Kung Fu Red background.
Yeah.
And I'll play it while we're having a chat. Hold on. Oh man. I'll turn it up because I want to have a chat, right, about it. So you can see this is also a red background Kungas with Chan. And believe me, I love this opening as well a lot. Let's not mute it, but I'll just turn it down low. Now there's a reason I prefer the Snake and Crane one. It's got nothing to do with the skills, it's got nothing to do with the music. It is simply to do with something that you brought up earlier. the reason this does work, I mean, it's purely works. I mean, look at it. It purely works, right? I mean, it's amazing.
Are you picking up on the music with the actions, with the opening?
No. Oh, well, you can, but for me, the reason I prefer Snake and Crane as a red background intro is exactly the reason you brought up earlier. And when we open this film and we watch this film, we go, blimey, look at this guy. Look at the skill. He's got amazing martial arts. Then the film starts and he plays a character who knows no martial arts. As a matter of fact, he plays a character who gets beaten up in a school and cleans the floors.
Yeah.
And the reason Snake and Crane is they're equally as amazing. But the reason for me Snake and Crane means a lot more is simply because it is a better example, if you like, a showing of what you're about to get. As you said earlier, you get that intro, you can see he's got wicked martial arts skills. The film starts, and within 5 minutes, he smashes them while he's fishing. Yeah, he smashes those blokes in. He's real and knows kung fu from the off, and that shows in the intro. You go brilliant martial arts, and he's brilliant martial arts in the film. But with this, you go brilliant martial arts, and then he plays it. It don't ruin it. Trust me, it don't ruin it, because I love Snake and Eagle Shadow. But you know that at some point later on, he's going to end up being amazing at martial arts because you've seen it already on the intro.
Yeah.
So that's why
you think like it's almost like continuity, just going straight in, and then when the storyline starts, like, hang on a minute, this sort of you've gone from there down to there again, and then you're gradually building back up. Whereas, like you say, the other one, he's just straight in master, he's in, and we know that from the outset. But this is almost like not false advertising, but it's leading you into thinking something different. But I'll look for any excuse to see a little showcase of talent here. Do you know what I mean? And it's just him soloing, so it's almost like the director's giving him this little bit of time to show it off on his own, what he's capable of. You know what I mean?
Now, you know what? You make a very good point there. That when else is he going to get? So let's say that's a 2-minute intro. We know that the other one, that's the thing. That's Snake and Crane's like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
When else are you going to get the opportunity to just display skills apart from on? Think of opening credits on Hollywood films.
Yeah.
And then look at that.
Exactly.
He's showcasing the skill and the talent of the guy.
You've got the red background, which humans perceive as danger. So straight away, you've got that nice red background. You've got the contrast with the black suit on there. You've got the bare arms, and you've got the nimbleness, works well against the red background. Loway obviously knows it works from the other film.
Yuen Ping, this one.
Was that different director?
Yuen Ping, this one. He'd already, this is where they borrowed him.
Still, it works from back with that Loway. Just the audience. Or if you're a fan of Jackie Chan, you go, I've seen this before. It takes you back to there, so you almost feel relaxed, because it's that similar style of, just the way it's shot with the background. I know it's bog standard, but it works. If it was against another background, it probably wouldn't have had the same impact.
Absolutely right. It's amazing. The skill is amazing. I think you bring up an excellent point there, that gives him time. The director has gone, go, do whatever. You've got however long it takes to say who makes this film, to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that's just fantastic. Making up all them moves and everything, it's brilliant.
Oh, I love it.
It's brilliant. There you go. That's the opening. Because Snake and Crane, the opening, I think, is it's a major part of that film for me. A major part of that film is. I've got big memories of that. Snake and Crane. The first thing that comes up for me is the intro. The intro. So next subject is we'll talk about the different releases that have come out. All right. Well, thanks very much for watching. I think the music is always a really interesting discovery in Kung Fu films, so I hope people found that informative. If you want more Snake and Crane chats, then in the next episode, part 6, we discuss the following. The various home releases of Snake and Crane, including all the associated features and details. Thanks, and hopefully we'll see you for part 6.
Snake and Crane.